What is up, YouTube? Live via satellite here, and today we are talking Kingdom. And in particular, guys, today we are talking top 10 things I want to see after this arc. Alright, so guys, this is my list. I was gonna wait till I got caught up to drop this list, but sheesh, I'm so far back right now. So I decided, the hell with it. I'm gonna just drop this list right now because honestly, with the death of Hoken in the most recent chapter of Kingdom, it looks like this arc is about to be wrapping up very quickly. So before it ends and we get too deep into the next arc, I thought this would be the perfect time for this list. So guys, we're just gonna jump right into it, and I'm gonna start off with number 10. And number 10, guys, is politics. And yes, I know that's kind of broad, but listen guys, for a long time, over 2 years, maybe longer, we've been on the Sukai Plains, we've been on the battlefield. So we've had no time to be in the palace, to see what's going on with all the other different factions. It's pretty much been nothing but non-stop battles, right? So we haven't had any time to really sit down and see some of the nuances of the political game. Like, there was a time when you had characters like Ryofui always up to some type of manipulation and some sort of game. And I'm just interested in really getting back to seeing some of those type of things come back into the story. I mean, even seeing what the people in the capital were up to, you know, the Queen Mother may still be bitter, Ryofui's still alive. There's even another character that I'm going to talk about later in this list that I think has the potential to be a political character if Hara chooses to use her that way. Number 9, guys, is Shibasho, and I am very interested to see what Hara does with Shibasho after this arc. I mean, to me, it's obvious that Zao won't be fully defeated in this arc because Hara already introduced this character, Shibasho, who is said to already be on the level of the 3 Great Heavens, but due to his issues with the king, pretty much refuses to join. I mean, it would be kind of silly to introduce this character who hasn't really done anything yet if Zao was going to be defeated and he was not going to play any role at all. Now, something I've been just recently thinking about was after this arc, Riboku is going to be in a lot of trouble. And we all know what the king said to Riboku, that if he didn't get the job done, then his head was going to be on a spike, basically, right? But we also know that the king really would love to have somebody like Shibasho on his team. So one way I think it would be cool for Riboku to be saved is if Shibasho actually intervenes. What if Shibasho comes to the king and lets the king know that he'll fight for him, but only under one condition: if he spares Riboku. I really thought that would be a cool idea to kind of introduce the character and kind of bring him to the forefront. And the only reason I think Shibasho would want to do something like that is because he would already respect what Riboku obviously brings to the table. So he would clearly understand that losing a guy of Riboku's caliber would clearly weaken the state of Zao. But that's just something I thought about that could be cool. But either way, I'm looking forward to seeing what Shibasho actually brings to the table in the near future. So on to number 8, guys, and number 8 is simply the other states. I really just want to see what the other states are up to, and I really want to see what all their reactions are after they see that the Chin have won this battle. Because as of right now, you know, they're all just waiting for Chin to lose so that they can invade. But just seeing their faces, especially someone like Karen, and seeing what she thinks about what happened with this battle, and definitely seeing what a guy like Gohame thinks. And this is pretty much a scene we know is gonna happen. I just can't wait to see what the responses are throughout all the different states, and maybe we'll even get introduced to some newer and stronger characters along the way. Like, hopefully we actually get to see Koen, but you know, I'm not gonna hold my breath for that one. I think Hara's still saving that for later down the line, but you never know. Number 7, guys, is repercussions of Osun's actions. Alright guys, so in this arc, we saw Osun ask Riboku to actually join him and to go on and build their own kingdom together. Now, no matter how you try to slice it, this is pretty much treason. So I'd really like to see Osun called out on his bullshit, but to be honest, the only people who really heard this conversation was Riboku's people and Osun's people, and you know his guys are pretty loyal to him. So I'm kind of expecting this one not to happen, but I would love it if it did. The only way I could really see this information getting back to Ace or Shohikun is if they actually had spies like within Osun's army, right? Because I doubt they'd actually get any of this information from Roboku himself, but I think spies in Osun's army wouldn't be too far-fetched, especially knowing the reputation that Osun's always had. So I wouldn't be shocked if Shohiken, being as smart as he is, was keeping a very close eye on Osun. So I really can't wait to see if this information actually gets to Issei and see what he actually does about it, if anything. Number 6, guys, is I want to actually see where Shin actually lives. Like, where does Shin call home? I mean, yeah, this is something small, but I think the last time we checked in on Shin's actual pad, it was like this shack, you know what I mean? So he's come a long way since then. He's got a lot more funds. The bank account is looking nice. So I'm looking to see if he's upgraded in some way, shape, or form, you know? A lot of these big generals that we saw had their own pretty much cities, it looked like, right? So I'm kind of anticipating for Shin to get to that level. So yeah, I definitely want to see how our boy's been living, especially since he's gotten all of these new achievements under his belt. Okay guys, at 5, I definitely would like to be introduced to the Crown Prince Fusu and his mother. Okay guys, so when it comes to Issei, we are always seeing his life from Ko's perspective, okay? We always see his daughter and we see Ko and we see like their relationship, right? But there's a more powerful relationship that Issei has, and that's actually with the mother of his son. Because the mother of his son is actually in line to become like the new queen mother or whatever, right? And really simply because her son is the crowned prince. So the prince's mother was actually the character I was alluding to earlier, who I think will have a good political role if Hard chose to use her that way. And even if he decides not to go that route, I'd still really like to see these two characters fleshed out. Because to me, it's kind of just odd that we've never been introduced to the prince when he's pretty much the second most important person in the entire kingdom. Okay guys, so at number 4 is a classic question that has been going on throughout this arc. And that simply is, what Osun asked Shohiken for? Now this was something that was brought up earlier in the arc before they even set out, and maybe even this question will still be addressed before this arc actually ends. And since I've pretty much already made an entire video about this subject, I'm going to just leave it at that. I just want to know, what did Osun ask Shohiken for on that bridge before they set out? I need answers, Hara. I need answers. Okay guys, at number 3 is what actually happens to Roboku. Okay, so I touched a little bit on this when I was talking about the Shiba show stuff, but to me guys, I really doubt that Roboku dies this arc, okay? I think he's gonna make it to the next arc, and I think he's gonna obviously work with Shiba show fighting against Ichin in future battles. But what's really going to be interesting is what transpires between the king and Roboku. After this battle, there's only going to be one person in Zao who wants Roboku dead, and that's going to be the king. And I think that's a very dangerous position for the king to be in, because a lot of people in Zao already don't like him, and you can tell that most people in Zao would rather have Prince Ka as the new king, because they think things may get done a lot better under him. Because we see that this pedo king only cares about himself. And he doesn't even concern himself with the future of Zao, because he's sick and he knows that whatever's going to happen won't happen in his lifetime. So in all honesty, I don't even know if Roboku's going to have to lay a finger on the king. I think the king may be assassinated by some other outside force before he even has a chance to kill Roboku. Alright, so at number 2 guys, I'm thinking it's time for Kyokai to finally get those hiking boots on and climb that mountain she's been talking about. That's right guys, Shin and Kyokai, it's time for them to finally get it in. Yeah, enough of the hand holding and slick talk that goes right over Shin's head. It's time to smash. It's gotta go down. It's gotta happen. It's time for Shin to get some of that so-oh swagger, you know what I mean? It's like, enough is enough. Like, the only sparring I want to see these two guys doing after this arc is in the bedroom. And hopefully Kyokai has enough sense to make sure she lets her sword Ryokusui wait outside. But no, in all seriousness, I do think it would be cool for us to finally see Kyokai and Shin actually take that next step forward and actually become a little bit of an item. I mean, let's not forget, Kyokai's 2 main goals are to 1, become a great general, and 2, to bear Shin's children. So we gotta get started somewhere. And finally guys, the number 1 thing I want to see happen after this arc is, of course, the award ceremony. Guys, this is going to be by far the biggest and best award ceremony to date in Kingdom. I'm expecting Shin, Moten, and Ohan to all be promoted to General. And even though this is going to be amazing, guys, it's also going to be bittersweet, because there will be one final death that we will have to endure during this ceremony, and that's simply the death of the Hishin unit. Looking back over this arc, it's amazing that we've pretty much come full circle. Oki was the one to name the Hishin unit, and after his death, passing his glaive down to Shin. And now after killing Hoken, it's almost like the Oki chapter is closed. Even though Riboku played his part, Hoken actually was responsible for killing Kyo and physically was the one to actually kill Oki. So it's fitting to me that on his way to become General, Shin actually avenges Oki's death. And with that, soon the unit that Oki once named will cease to be a unit and finally become an army. And I just think that's going to be such an amazing moment. Not to mention just seeing Ase actually giving these awards to Shin and to everybody else, like he's going to just be so proud, you know what I mean? And especially the journey that these two have had together, it's just like they've grown so much. And I'm even interested to see like some of the smaller awards. I'm interested to see what happens with the Archer brothers, see what Kyokai gets bumped up to. And like I was talking about earlier with seeing Shin's place, I'd like to see if he gets some more lands or whatever. We even might get to see them bring back the 6 great generals system in this ceremony. And to be honest, if they did, in the initial 6, I would not expect to see Shin, Ohan, or Moten, because none of them have had the experience of actually being generals yet. The only one I would think who would be close enough would actually be Moten, and that's only because he's like just so advanced, you know what I mean? But anyway, guys, that concludes my list of things I can't wait to see after this arc. Let me know what you guys are waiting to see, and let me know what you guys thought of this video in the comment sections below. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and feel free to share, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.